Well, hello there. I'm Dr. Jim Collins. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. I do have a good topic for you today. 3 steps to better nutrition in later life. Okay, so I wrote an article, and I like to give viewers articles and videos so that you have both choices. But I'd like to share some of the highlights of my more in depth article with you. We need to care about nutrition when we're young, when we're middle aged, but as we age and we hit 50, 60, 70, 80, we should really pay attention to what we're eating on a daily basis. Food and hydration are extremely important, not only for energy, but food actually gives information to our brain. There are so many good books out there right now that are shedding the light on how important anything we eat or drink is, not just to our physical body, but the messages that those nutrients and minerals send to our brain and our gut in particular are incredibly impressive and important. So we need to eat well, and it's never too late. And I'm not suggesting any fad diets. I'm not suggesting any radical change in what you do because when we go radical in our diets, generally it doesn't last, right? It's a fad. We do it, we drop it, we move on, we go back to old habits. But something that I have done throughout, I would think, most of my adult life. When I was younger, I really didn't care what I ate, and maybe you were the same too. But I make little changes every several weeks or every few months. And I have really changed in a practical, long lasting way what I eat, what I don't eat, when I eat, how I eat. All of those really do matter. So, let me talk about 3 steps to better nutrition in later life. Number one, create a healthy later life diet. Give it a name. Give your diet a name and become friends with it because it's going to mean something more to you. So, cheeseburger, fries, and tacos are great when we're much younger and when we are far more active and our metabolisms are higher. We can burn a lot of those calories away when we're younger and not gain weight. This isn't the case later in life. That's why it's a great idea. I know it sounds corny, but create your own special diet and call it something. Okay? A later life diet should include adding more whole foods while minimizing processed foods. Every now and then, a double stuffed Oreo, it's not going to take you out, but every now and then. Whole foods are those that are as close to their natural form as possible. For instance, fresh fruits are far healthier than canned fruits with all of that sugar based syrup and everything else that's added to it. Lots of fresh vegetables are also necessary in this later life diet. And I have become a huge fan. I wasn't when I was younger. Later in life, I really began to appreciate whole foods, fresh foods, raw foods. So, calcium, good fat, protein, fiber, and some carbs are important for good nutrition later in life. We run a higher risk of developing osteoporosis or breaking or fracturing bones as we age. So, make sure to add foods like broccoli, almonds, milk, cheese, and kale to your later life diet. Since we're also at a greater risk of cardiovascular disease later in life, be sure to avoid bad proteins and go for higher quality proteins, including things like fish, beans, nuts, eggs, and peas. Red meat every now and then. Fiber also lowers our risk for heart disease and should be a daily part of our later life diet. And in terms of carbs, go for whole grains over processed white flour. Number two, learn to cope with changes that affect your diet. We're aging, bodily systems are changing, and there's no shortage of age related changes that are going to affect our quality of life as well as our dietary options and our preferences. Changes will take place and adjustments will be needed or necessary. Understanding these changes, though, will help you to meet your nutritional goals and your needs later in life. As we age, especially after the age of 40, our metabolism naturally slows down and many people will become less physically active. Eating healthy is vital and can help to prevent weight gain or obesity, which are associated with too many disorders and diseases for me to mention. You know what they are. We also experience a slow decline in our senses, which are important in the enjoyment of eating. I've always said we eat with our eyes first. We eat with our nose first. You see it, it looks wonderful. You smell the aroma, and then you really get hungry and your appetite increases. So as we age, the first taste related loss is to salty and bitter tasting foods. So, what do a lot of people do? They put on the salt and they are increasing their sodium intake, which is not good. So, instead of doing that, use herbs and spices, healthy oils like olive oil to add flavor to your food. As a matter of fact, most nutritional experts would probably agree that you should have 3 or 4 tablespoons of olive oil every day. So, our family has made the habit of putting olive oil on everything, cooking with olive oil, sauteing, stir frying, fresh salads with olive oil, cracked pepper, and a little bit of sea salt. Older people are the main consumer of prescription and over the counter drugs. We know that when compared to younger or middle aged adults. Unfortunately, though, many medications come with the side effect of interfering with our ability to taste what we're eating. This is one of the leading causes of weight loss among older adults and seniors. So we have to adjust to that change. Many people will also experience digestive issues as they get older, and in general, the digestive system does tend to slow down with age. Less saliva in our mouths, less stomach acid is produced, making absorption of nutrients more difficult. Taking fiber can speed up digestion, so that's important. And number 3, be aware of lifestyle changes that might interfere with your diet. What do I mean by that? For some people, age brings many losses, including the loss of independence, employment, family and friends, perhaps the loss of a spouse or a significant other. While it's natural to experience sadness or some depression, those feelings can really interfere with your diet and your nutritional status. Loneliness can trigger overeating, undereating. A lot of people eat because they're lonely and there's nothing else to do. And it may be easier to get fast food instead of healthier, home cooked options. Finances can also affect nutrition in a number of ways. That's a no brainer. Living on a limited income or a tight budget may not be conducive to purchasing fresh, whole foods, which tend to be sometimes a little more expensive. But you would be surprised if you stack up the amount of money that you pay for processed, packaged, boxed food. Compare that to what you do pay for fresh produce. Sometimes the processed stuff is a lot more expensive. So it might be easier to buy cheaper foods and processed foods, which sometimes are more expensive, but compare. Do some comparative shopping. And I bet you're going to be surprised, okay? And the good news is that there are easy ways to eat healthy on a budget, eat out less. That tends to stack up. Sticking to your shopping list, never go to the grocery store hungry, right? We know that. And buying in bulk some foods that can remain stored for a while or frozen might be a good, simple solution as well. Look for, and we love this. I never did this as a younger person. Now I look for these things. Local farmers markets um, or the Amish in our area have great fresh foods that are right there on the street. All you have to do is stop and buy them. Or cooking once or twice a week and eating what you've made in bulk multiple times throughout the week can save a lot of money as well. And you're getting good nutrition. So that's what I'm preaching about today. 3 steps to better nutrition in later life. I hope some of that information was beneficial for you, and I hope you are living a great, healthy life. I'll see you soon. I'm Dr. Jim. Take care.